Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Outpost. Alright, are you all ready to save mankind? Launch!
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have received the probe data on the planets in the target star system. Data will be presented as you click on each planet in the display. When you have chosen the planet you wish to colonize, click on the Select button to calculate our final approach trajectory. Any mistake at this point will doom you and your colonists to certain death. Have a nice day.
Now, between star systems that I could have chosen, it was either this one or Delta Pavonis, but that's mostly because Delta Pavonis has a gas giant in it that looks a bit like Saturn. It has the rings. But that's not important because you can't land on that. Instead, we have planets here. Like this planet, for instance. This is I think this one is a Mercury equivalent planet. It certainly moves around fast enough. I mean, Mercury goes around in around about 70 days. It has a surface gravity of a fourth of the Earth's gravity. It is much closer to its star, and it receives about 6.6 times as much solar energy as we do on Earth. It's very hot during the day and very cold during the night. This is all in centigrade, just in case any of you Fahrenheit people are watching. We didn't bring that system over to the new planet. And the principal atmospheric gases are just some helium traces. Probably was so close to the star. Anyway, the next planet over is almost the same size as the Earth. It has a slightly smaller mass. It has a day that is... It has a day that lasts for 234 days, which turns backwards. So the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. That's very nice. Surface gravity is similar to that of Earth. The mean distance to the sun, well, to its star, is a little bit closer, and its solar energy is about 2.2. The surface temperature is hotter than that, but that's because it has clouds. This is essentially a Venus equivalent. Its principal atmospheric gases are carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Then we have this planet. It's 0. Again, this is about a third the size again. Only a tenth of the mass. It takes about 27 days to return around. It's also retrograde. But it's the same distance from the star as the Earth and receives about the same energy. It is quite hot during the day and quite cold during the night. And then we have this one. This is essentially a Mars equivalent planet. It's about half the size of the Earth. It's much lighter. The rotation period is 24 hours approximately. It's about 1.5 times as far away from the star. It receives almost half the solar energy. And the average mean temperature is about minus 23 degrees. Its main atmosphere is carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Yeah, like a Mars equivalent. This would probably be the most comfortable place to live. So we'll go to the Venus planet.
Orbital insertion complete. Stable orbit attained. Sensors activated for planetary scan.
You now have the opportunity to launch any satellites or probes you may have packed for the voyage. The launch of the seed factory will end this sequence. Any mistake at this point will doom you and your colonists to certain death. Have a nice day.
Don't you always like it when the dramatic music starts and it suddenly becomes a lot more sinister? Alright, let's launch all the satellites I have. Solar satellite, go! Weather satellite, go! Communication satellite, go! Orbital observer, go! Geological penetrator, go! Right, so that has given us a little bit more of an estimation about what we can do on the surface, in that it has estimated the number of mining sites and the maximum digging depth. I'll explain more about that when the music stops, but for now, let's launch the Sea Factory. And here she is. Our world, our new Earth. Doesn't she look lovely? Doesn't she look brilliant? Doesn't she look barren? I mean, there's only 2 sites available. Alright, enough with that spinning. Give me the sites. Now, it's only given me 2 sites, so let's bring them up. Alright, so we have site 1 and site 2. Which one of these to choose? Now, ideally, when picking sites, I mean, maybe I should really have gone for that Mars-like equivalent, but we're not there. Anyway, when you're picking your sites to land, you really just want to know one thing. Is it flat? And no, not really. Golly. Right, so we're looking for areas that are black, because that black means it's flat-ish.
There is no help available on that topic. You're on your own.
Clear terrain. We also have some, let's see,
There is no
rough terrain.
help available on that topic.
And we have impassable terrain, for instance, or just simple hostile terrain. We'll try to stick with the this terrain. There's only
There is no help available on that topic. You're on your own.
I think we'll go with this one. Let's turn the elevation map off. I'm choosing my lander to go here. And my turn. Alright, so that has deployed a couple of tubes and the basic seed factory. So here is where my command building will go. a power facility, a factory, and a smelter. I also have 3 robo machines. A digger, a dozer, and a miner. Let's put them to work. There will doze here. We'll dig here. And we'll mine here. I'm just waiting for the music to die down a bit so I can keep talking, because otherwise I can't hear myself think. Bravissimo. They were really proud of that particular piece of music stowed into the game. However, from this point forward, there is no music. Absolutely none. The game is played in complete silence, well, except for, of course.
Yes, Commander. How may I be of assistance?
My lovely assistant Craft. Alright, so before we continue forward, let's just read some news briefs. The destruction of Earth stuns colonists. We are sad to report that the Earth has been destroyed. Communication with Earth Mission Control ended abruptly in a burst of static just after Vulcan's hammer struck the planet at 0900 GMT. The single attempt to divert the asteroid with a nuclear weapon served only to break it into large chunks, 2 of which struck the Earth. We have not received any messages from the survivors. Tomorrow has been declared a day of mourning so that we may remember what has been lost. The entire fucking world! It's just us, our survivors. 150 of them. Now, even the most basic knowledge of colonization tells you that's not enough. That's not enough. You'll get inbreeding within the shortest amounts of periods of time. You need anywhere between 1,500 to 5,000 people to have a stable colony that will not be completely run by a single family in the end. Now, it's the success to this game sort of figures out a way around that with genetic manipulation and gene banks, which produces clones from people that couldn't come on the mission. But still, that should have really been a little bit thought out. In any case, but there's another news brief. Traitors steal supplies, depart to start a rebel colony. Believing that 2 colonies have a better chance of survival on the new world, the rebel colonists have left the starship to form their own colony. The rebels have taken Seed Factory number 2, landers and other supplies from the cargo hold. Our leader has denounced the rebels, stating that they are a foolhardy group of traitorous miscreants. And that is indeed true. Rebels, over here represented with the blue triangle, have started their own base and are already calling down their colonists. Now, this is how you know that the computer is essentially cheating, because there's no effing way they could do that. Because at the moment there's no place for the colonists to go. Other than that, there's not much else to do. So let's start with some feature naming. So we should name the planet. And the planet is called Sigma Draconis 2. That sounds kind of cool, but that we can do better than that. So this will be Planet Bob. We'll name the site where we've landed to Paradise. And our colony, of course, that'll be Haven. Right. Well, that's pretty much all I can do in this turn. Let's leave my robots to do their job. And go on now. I recognize, of course, that the game will be a little bit quiet if I'm not talking and thinking things over. So I've decided to add a little bit of music of my own. Well, not my own, but music that is appropriate for this game. Now, of course, I could have just added in some classical music that would make this all sound pompous and very, very, well, dry and boring, I suppose. I mean, I like classical music to an extent, but you do need to know which parts to have, and I don't. So instead, I'll be using music from the game's successor, which might add a little bit of different flavor. Nice and jaunty tune. Alright, so we need to clear some space so we can build some surface structures when we call for the landers. But we can't call for the landers until the command structure is completed in 9 turns. Alright, so now the seed power is operational. We have some power. In the master reports, which we can't get until the command thing is finished, will tell us that. I'm just looking for whatever I have available. Because there's a couple of facilities that I will want to build ASAPly. Alright, so now our smelter is operational, as well as our digger is done, so let's dig down another level, since we can only get to level 2. I mean, we can go to underground 2 at most, at the present time. Also, let's set our miner over to another base, because we have to keep in mind that we need minerals and other resources from the mines, whereas the rebels do not. In fact, their base is about on schedule, but we can also see what they are doing underground. I have no idea how they are doing this, because they should not have any amounts of resources. But basically, because I have an observer in orbit, I can see what's going on there. Now, my mining builders will not finish until people arrive, I think. Probably. I mean, the seed factory is designed to be deployed on its own, for the seed buildings, but we still need to wait 3 more turns for that to finish. Right, let's set up some more pathway. Alright, command is finished. So now I can call down the landers if I choose to. At the moment I don't really want to do that just yet, because for one thing I don't have enough stuff to do, or able to do. But I have to keep in mind again that the life support aboard the ship is not good enough to keep all those people alive, because they have been in cryosleep from Earth, from Jupiter when they launched. But now they're all awake. And the ship is just not designed to hold that many people for that long, so they will start dying if I take too long. Also, the game does explain this in the manual, but doesn't really tell you otherwise. All the seed buildings that you will see here have a lifespan of 150 turns, no more. After that, they will simply automatically collapse. With the exception of the command station, which will stay intact. Again, something the game really should tell me. I just want the dozer here. Because I need just a little bit more dugouts. Alright. Let's get the dozer to take this. And we are now on turn 14. Alright, I have another mine operational. Let's get one more mine set up. One more site dugout. And let's call down our landers. Colonist Lander 1, Colonist Lander 2, and the Cargo Lander, which brings all the other supplies that we need. But that will do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.